this straightened out. First of all, introduce myself. I'm Doug Kirchhoff. I'm involved in boys sports and have been involved with this project now for almost 7 years. So this is a big night for lots of people and for lots of reasons. My job tonight is short and sweet. I have the pleasure of introducing the gentleman who is behind this project, whose visionary leadership has led to a string of successes in business, in education, and public service. This project is another example of the results of that visionary leadership. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Randy Moore.
It's so great to see all of you here tonight. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel at this moment, but I'm just feeling overwhelmed with gratitude. Because I have a list, by the way. I normally don't have notes, but I have a list this time because there's so many people to thank. Then I walk in the room and realize that I've only got like 10% of the people on my list that I should have said thank you to. So one big blanket thank you to everybody in the room. This took the community, this took everybody. And somebody just interviewed me a moment ago. They said, well, would you say it was like hundreds or thousands? Literally thousands of people, from the people that voted for it, the people that have helped us construct this, the people that have envisioned it. So just a blanket thank you to everybody. And so, a quick word about the stadium. Many of you have already been through it, but for those that haven't, this is the best baseball stadium in America. With some authority, because I have been to 45 Major League Baseball stadiums. I'm kind of a baseball stadium junkie. I've been to every Major League Baseball stadium that's active today, plus a bunch of the older ones, like old Yankee Stadium and the two old Brave stadiums and so on. And every time I go to a stadium, I walk all around the stadium and look at the game from different points of view. Walking around the stadium, we've got some of the most amazing views of any stadium I've ever seen. So when I tell you this is one of the most amazing stadiums, it's because of this out of experience. We've got a water tower in right field. You don't often have that. We have this bandbox out in the right field with all kinds of games. And Ginny and I disagree on this, but in the outfield, we have a river that runs through it. She's quick to point out it's a creek, but work with me here. It's a river. We have a river running through it. But it's more than just a baseball stadium. It's an athletic field for all kinds of sports. We're going to have high school baseball and high school football even. We're going to have soccer games, men's and women's. All kinds of sports will be here. But it's more than an athletic venue. It's also an entertainment venue. We're going to have concerts here. We're going to have a light show at Christmas time. We're going to have farmers markets. We're going to have events. In this space, we're going to have the United Way event in about a month. We're going to have weddings here. Imagine hundreds of people over the next few decades will have their wedding here at the Smokies Stadium at the Covenant Health Park. So it'll be all of that, but it's even more than that. And more importantly, most importantly, it's a bridge. This is a bridge for our community to bring people together. People from downtown to East Knoxville, people from North Knoxville to South Knoxville, all across our community will come together to enjoy not just baseball, but each other and building community. And that's what this is about. And so, I want to take a moment to thank some of the people specifically that made this happen. Usually I'm a big believer in being short. You always hate that guy. Has the long list, but I have a long list. Because it's just so important to mention all the people that we're so appreciative of. And by the way, I've been anxious about two things coming up to this day. Number one is maybe I'm worried that I'm going to forget somebody. And surely I am. So those that I forget to say thank you to, come up to me afterwards and I'll apologize profusely and say thank you to you. Even more stressful than that is tomorrow at opening day. And so I did an interview on this on Sunday with WBNR, but very anxious about starting the game because you see, using a little personal privilege, we decided to ask our two granddaughters, Wiley and Penelope, 4 years old and 7 years old, to be the ones to say the inaugural play ball. And we've been practicing it for like months, and I'm worried that they freeze up. So if we had to cancel the game, it's because we couldn't get to the same play ball. We're hopeful that this will work out okay. Let's start with our local government. We talk about bringing people together. I believe this project actually brought people together, a city and a county. Like maybe I'll make the statement, somebody could prove me wrong before. But our two mayors were the heroes in this story. There were so many times when we ran into a problem, dozens of times. And one of the mayors would call a meeting, we'd all come around the table, and the attitude was always, how do we get this solved? It was always a can-do attitude. This is a can-do community led by two can-do mayors. Mayor Buchanan, Mayor Jacobs, thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you to everybody at City Council and County Commission that debated sometimes hotly whether we should go forward or not, but I think through that process we ended up with a better project. So I want to thank everybody at City Council and County Commission that helped us do this, all with their leadership. At the time we had Will McKenzie in the city, for a time Orson J in the county. We appreciate your all support. And our county commissioner here today is David Rawls. I want to thank him and our city council representative, Will McKenzie, for all of their support. Let's give them a round of applause. In state government, these kind of projects don't always get state support. In this case, we did. Our new Governor Bill Lee, along with the Deputy Governor Butch Healy, were big champions of this project. Thankful that they were able to support us. Probably wouldn't have happened without the tremendous local delegation we have. Senator Becky Massey and Representative Jason Zachary were really tireless in their advocacy for this project. So super thankful for them. And then lastly, our local representative Sam McKenzie, who this is in his district. All were incredibly supportive. We give them all a round of applause. Community partners, we had so many. This is where I'm going to fail to mention somebody. We can't not mention the Sports Authority. The Sports Authority actually runs the stadium, owns the stadium. We're paying lease payments back to them. So this is, and we have a tremendous group of people that volunteer to be on this Sports Authority. We thank them for their support. KUB, there was so much work that had to go into this project. For those that don't know, nearly every water line and power line for the city of Knoxville just happened to be underneath this place, and so we had to redo all of that. I appreciate their great partnership. KCBC, Ben Billy, great partners throughout. Knox Area Urban League, but everybody in Knox Area Urban League, you're our tireless champions in all things, and also helping us to train the workforce. And the Beck Cultural Center, I think we're going to hear from Renee here in a few minutes. Renee Kessler. We had to get the baseball right, we had to get the community right, we had to make sure that we were recognizing the people in our community in a thoughtful and authentic way, and she's been our guide and our consultant throughout. Thank you so much, Renee, for everything. So, we needed to name the park, so we hired this professional consulting firm from New York, and we told them we want a firm that represents our commitment to the community. We want somebody that also talks about the health of the community. We also want somebody that shares our cultural values. It would be helpful if their colors are blue and red, like the Smokies. That's not true at all. But we did a great story because Covenant Health is actually the perfect partner. If I were to dream up the perfect partner, it couldn't be anybody more perfect than our partners at Covenant Health. I'm so thankful for the name Covenant Health Park and your support of the stadium. For those who don't know, this stadium represents 4 different projects. So we have the stadium, owned by the Sports Authority, managed by Boyd Sports, constructed by Denard. We have Yardley, which is an apartment complex that the Philbins have developed. They built themselves, different architects, different construction. We have the public plaza for the city that is owned by the city, same construction company in Denard again, and different architects. And then we have the Delaney building, condominiums that Jenny and I own, designed by Denard and designed by many of the same architects. Can you imagine all 4 of these projects all coming together at exactly the same time? The wall, everybody's in development knows. All the walls actually touch. 4 different ownership groups, 4 different projects, all the walls touch, and everything came in time and on budget. It's unbelievable. There's probably some missing bodies somewhere that we don't know about, but from what I can tell, everybody got along throughout. So it's been an amazing project. I want to thank our architect, Barbara Murray, DIA, Populous for great work, our Partners Development, Russ Watkins, Christy Branson for helping us oversee all this, our amazing construction company, Denark, who again, gets credit for being on time and on budget. It would be them. Special shout out my friend Bo Boss, who did all the. He's here on site all the time. Anybody's been on the site knows Bo. Fantastic job, Bo. Joe and Joe Phillips. Business team. This all started with a concept. Jim, development, we had Steve Davis, Chris Kinney, Roger Duran, all sitting around to figure out how all this works. Chris, thank you for being the hard negotiator on all of these things. I wouldn't have happened without you. Also, Moxley Carmichael. Throughout this, we've got to build support. Moxley Carmichael, Cynthia Moxley have been our spokesman from the beginning, and our legal team, Dennis Ragsdale, and so many others that helped us pull this off. Two last, and I'm done. Through all this, for over 25 years, the Smokies have been led by Doug Kirchhoffer, the consummate professional. He's a passionate baseball person, but also a tremendous business person, and also a great friend. And for me personally, to have the perseverance and the permission to be able to lead a project like this, or be involved in a project like this. It sometimes takes me away from home and from the rest of other things I might be doing with my family, my life. I want to thank my partner, Jade, for being so supportive. By the way, we have a baseball game tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night. Go Smokies!
Thank you, Randy. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. Okay. I'm India Buchanan, the mayor of this beautiful city, and I don't know about you, but I think I have to pinch myself to really believe we're here. It wasn't too long ago that this was just empty, blighted property that hadn't seen much investment in decades. And I remember when I was running for mayor, I talked to many people, and they would ask me and look me in the eye and say, "Are you going to support the stadium?" And some people wanted the answer to be yes, and some people wanted the answer to be no. And I always said that if the benefits to the people of this community outweigh the cost, I promise I will support it. And I remember specifically having that conversation with Tim Hill in his office, plastered with giant historic photos of the Smokies, the Knoxville Smokies. So I knew what answer you wanted. And I also knew that you would help along the way. So you, along with many other people that Randy has alluded to and named by name, just proves that success has 1,000 authors. And I'm glad to be one of the many authors of this success for our community. And I do want to say that this project started many years ago, probably when Randy bought the team in 2013, and then he bought some land in 2015, and then we knew that maybe this was actually going to happen. I want to give a shout out to my predecessor and former boss, Madeline Rajero. You helped get, I don't know what sports metaphor to use, but probably you helped get us to first base, I guess. And I do want to say, that we had a lot of work to do because once I made that promise, I got elected, and I had to work to keep that promise. And all those things that Randy talked about, the negotiations, the financing, the agreements, those took a lot of work. They took a lot of perseverance, and most of all, they took a lot of trust. And so thank you to our partners with Knox County, thank you to our partners with the state of Tennessee, thank you to Boyd Sports for having that trust to make sure this vision came to reality. We can clap for that. Thank you. And mostly, I feel glad to be part of a community that can think big, that has high aspirations and high expectations. I mean, I wouldn't have believed a few years back that this would be possible. So I'm so grateful for Randy for your vision and perseverance and investment. That's no small thing. How about another round of applause for Randy Boyd? And I confess I did not grow up playing baseball, but I was a fan of sports and a fan of sports generally. And I grew up in the area that was where Baltimore Orioles was a big team. So I was a fan of the O's, and most specifically, I was a fan of Cal Ripken Jr. Anybody here remember Cal Ripken Jr.? He was the kind of player that was a real role model for me. He was never flashy. He never bragged. He stayed with his hometown team, which is no small thing. And he had impressive stats. I don't know, a whole bunch of home runs and RBIs. He won 2 Golden Glove awards. But we all know what he's most remembered for. And that's that incredible streak of consecutive games. He played 2,632 games in a row. No matter how good or bad he felt, he showed up. He played, that's more than 16 years, which is about the same time it's taken for this to go from an idea to today, where we're celebrating the completion. So 16 years showing up to work every day, getting the job done. Cal Ripken Jr.'s humble dedication to hard work was a role model to me and to countless others. So thanks to the many people, and I have to give a special note for the City of Knoxville City Council, City of Knoxville employees, past and present. Rebecca Jane Justice, where are you? Grant Rosenberg, they're my people standing right now. But before RJ and Grant took these lead roles, I want to give a note of thanks and recognition for some people who were there during those negotiations, during those times during COVID, when this deal might have fallen through because COVID was hard, construction costs were going up, interest rates were skyrocketing. The deal could have fallen through. So I want to give a special note of thanks to Stephanie Welch and Harold Cannon. Who the next Cal Ripken Jr. will be playing on this field, inspiring the next generation. I'm so excited to welcome baseball back to Knoxville. Congratulations to everybody. My partner in local government, someone I trust to get this done together, Mayor Jacobs.
Thank you, American Canada. That goes both ways. Before I begin, there are a number of Knox County elected officials and former elected officials here. Can you all please raise your hands so we can give you all a round of applause? Thank you. Also, earlier, and I see Chelsea Morrell from Senator Blackburn's office, so thank you all so much for being here. So when this idea first came to me of a baseball stadium, I was like, that's a hard no for me. That's just something not a wise use of taxpayer dollars. 2 things changed my mind. One, Mark Mamatoff. Mark, where are you? I think you're someplace. Mark Mamatoff explained to me the financing model for this endeavor, which is very different than anything that I'd heard before. And the fact that it would not raise taxes on the people of the city of Knoxville or the people of Knox County, in fact, could actually help our revenue in the long term. And the other reason is Randy Boyd. Yeah. There were mentioned trust, and there was a lot of trust throughout this process. There are maybe not even a handful of people people that I would have trusted to pull this off. Seriously. And one of those is Randy Boyd. So thank you so very much. The site that we are standing on was a blighted piece of property. Sum total for the city and county, this area produced $60,000 in property tax, which is virtually nothing, okay? And it produced no sales tax. So there was just nothing going on here. I remember coming here when they first started moving some dirt, and they had these huge piles of dirt and a pin at home plate. Harold Cannon was explaining to me that the pin was like, that was the basis for everything, right? I thought to myself, Harold, what happens if someone moves the pin? But I'm looking around thinking, 2 years before I came over here, I thought 2 years, man, they're gonna be able to get this done, no problem. I got here and I'm like, there ain't no way they're getting this done in 2 years. It's impossible. And you look at the product and it is just unbelievable. This is the nicest stadium, I'm sure, in the country right now. So this is awesome. As I mentioned, the taxes that this area produced was virtually nothing. What this stadium has done is it is an anchor, not only for entertainment and all these other wonderful things, but for massive economic development in this area. So we have the stadium itself, then we have all the attached properties, but this will be the anchor and catalyst for hundreds of millions of dollars in private investment. And what that means, not only will the county and the city be seeing more tax money come in, which is good for our revenue, but more importantly, what that indicates is economic opportunity for the people of Knox County. And that's the most important thing. So I'm just thrilled to have played a very small part in this, because this is a transformational project for this area and really for all of East Tennessee. And there's a lot of people that put a lot of work into this. Chris Caldwell from my office. Chris, raise your hand. Chris was the lead for Knox County. Thank you to County Commission for holding our feet to the fire on things and making sure that this was done the right way. So many partners, so many that I can't name. One of the most important, though, is the Sports Authority, because in the end, this is their stadium, and they were the people who are hands-on making this happen. So now I'd like to introduce a member of the Sports Authority, my friend Alvin Nance. Alvin.
I think you can hear me. I'm going to take a little liberties as well, because I want to recognize some folks also. And if I don't call your name, see raise me. Okay? But I want to ask those members of the Sports Authority to please join me here at the podium. I see Joan Cronin there. I see Lawrence Tillman. Ms. Thompson is there. Tim Hill. Richard Bass. I saw Jeff Haygood earlier, and I hope he's still here. All right, Jeff, are you still here somewhere? All right. Well, listen, what I wanted to say here is that it's an honor for me to be able to make some comments, but I also want you to recognize some of the other people who have the honor of serving as the first members of the Sports Authority in the inaugural year. I also want you to also know that we began our first meeting in May of 2001. That's over 1,400 days. 46 months. We've been in this foxhole. But I will tell you, we did a wonderful job. I thank each and every one of them. We went through our stadium development agreement. We went through our lease agreements with the board team. Also, we had private development agreements with KCBC and the IDB. And I also like to thank Kim Bumpus and LeVar If you need someone to wrangle cats, opportunity for us. I will leave you with this. And one of the things that we did as the Sports Authority also, and I think Director Tillman, is that we created an internship program to give people an opportunity to understand the baseball stadium, but also the operations of the baseball stadium. So we're proud to be able to serve in this role, and I thank Mayor Jenkins and Mayor Buchanan for their trust in selecting us. Thank you.
When the pastor steps to the podium, let me be clear. We are standing on holy ground. We're in an amazing place. And this is an amazing day. And everything that we say on this day sets the tone for where we're going. Each of you are here because you were invited to be so, to celebrate something special. So today, here's our assignment. Randy Boyd did something amazing, and he had the audacity to keep his word on everything he said that was wrong. This is a special day because this community is special. April the 14th, 1935, on this day, 90 years ago, Robert Booker was born on this ground. Randy and Jenny have an argument going about the bridge. And what goes under the bridge, is it a river or is it a creek? Well, if you ask Dr. Booker, he would have said it was a creek. Jenny, you win. However, he said a bridge. Do you know that when we look out that window, there is a bridge? And it bears the name of Robert Booker. The Robert Booker Bridge is no longer a division or a dividing point between the other parts of the city and East Knoxville. It's a bridge that connects all of us. Every single one of us that's here, you're important. But I dare you understand how important this land is, this history is, and this community is. When you look out and you see that beautiful development that has the Delaney on it, that was intentional. Randy intentionally put Delaney. Who is Delaney? I'm glad you asked. Buford Delaney is one of the world's greatest artists. I believe that's what the history books will say. And Beck will finish the Delaney Museum, and we will have a tribute here in Knoxville like none other. But we're not done. Because you happen to look to the other side and you see the Yardley Flats. Who is William F. Yardley, you ask? I'm glad you asked that. Outstanding attorney. African American, one of the first in the city. First to run for governor as an African American. But beyond that, when you look out right across, you see the Carnegie Library, you will, because it's coming. More history is coming. And then after you cross the creek or the river, whichever way you want to call it, you end up at Giants Landing, where you have an amazing 6 statues that are beautiful, that really pay tribute to history. And we could not forget about our babies. Little League Baseball. So like Randy said, there's going to be baseball games here, and I'm not going to steal the thunder of his grandchildren saying, let's play ball.
There's gonna be other sports here, there's gonna be entertainment here, but here's what's here that will never go away. History is here, and history is still alive. And today, every one of you have made history. You're here on this day, at this time, and in a real way, you're celebrating the history of the people who lived here in the bottom and whose memories will forever be etched on this land. Thank you.
With the distinguished pleasure of welcoming Jim Vanderspeak to speak. Thank you.
You know what a privilege it is to be here today. I want to be one of the first ones to welcome you to the Covenant Health Park. I can tell you from a Covenant perspective what an honor it is to be any sort of faction attached to this, so we're so excited. I know there's been a lot of thank yous, but all those thank yous are so deserved. Obviously, Randy Boyd, Boyd Sports, and then you've heard so many other elected leaders today, and hearing the things that they've done, and then just other business people and community people that are in this room that have played such a vital role in this. As a leader, it's one thing to have a vision, it's another thing to bring that vision to fruition. So, what an impressive team it took to bring us where we are today. I want to say a special thank you to Randy. Now, Randy, you're getting a lot of thanks to you. You deserve it. And, this park could have been named anything. I'm quite certain. In fact, I think I've heard rumors that maybe some national companies called and said, hey, we want to name the park. But Randy chose Covenant. And we started discussions with Randy. And for Randy, it was important that he chose a strong business local partner. And as Randy and I had conversations, and others on my team had conversations, the more we talked to each other, the more we realized we have a lot in common. The mission of Covenant is to improve the quality of life through better health. For those of you who know Randy kind of likes health. He's kind of into health. But we found more and more things that we had in common. When you think about this, we're going to have a baseball field. But this field has been stated, it is so much more than a baseball field. We're going to play soccer. I'm sure they'll play all kinds of other sports. We're going to have concerts. What I understand is potentially over 300 events a year will be held here. Randy and I have discussed how do we push health here, And so we're going to be looking at that as we go forward about how do we continue in this community and help this community think about how to be healthy. So this is obviously an exciting day for Covenant, but this is an exciting day for our community. I had the chance, I think, to tour the facility 3 times. You say, and if you haven't toured it, you've got to tour it. You say, well, what's your opinion? I've never seen anything like it. I think last year, I was at new Atlanta Stadium, Brave Stadium. And if you say compare it, well, maybe it's because I also love Knoxville, but I'm telling you, what we have here, what Randy and the team have developed is incredibly unique. And my comment would be this, you just did it right. I mean, all of you as leaders in this room, you could have said, let's not do this, let's cut corners here. But as you walk around this stage and look at everything, you're going to realize it was done right. So, on behalf of Covenant Health, I just say thank you to everyone that's in this room that has led to get us where we are today. And now is my pleasure to introduce Knox County Commissioner Damon Hall.
So I had to bring my notes so that I wouldn't ramble, but this is a fan. This is. Oh, okay, there we go. In time. This is a fantastic day, a fantastic opportunity. Just as county commissioner, I'm just honored. So I won't belabor this with the thank yous, but thank you to Randy and thank you to the speaker. How do you know that that's the magic? Oh, okay. All right. So, let me start over. So, I want to thank you all for being here. Welcome to County Commission District 1. So, you're in District 1, so here's something. So as County Commission, though, I'm honored to be here for this moment that means so much to the city, and especially for East Knoxville, the district that I have the honor of representing. Opening of this ball field, it's not just a ball field, but as Renee stated earlier, baseball has deep roots in East Knoxville. From the Sandlot games to the Knoxville Giants, which you guys will see statues of around the stadium. The young people that you saw, that when we walked in the stairs, there was a statue of 4 young men playing. Those kids are still around this place. They are still in East Knoxville. A couple of them are still alive, and when I posted about those guys, people said, wait a minute, that's Mr. So-and-so. That's amazing to see. Right? And so that's the impact and that's the magic of doing something like that here. I'm going off notes now, but a conversation I had earlier when I came in here was what happens when leadership comes together to do the right thing. This is what happens when leadership comes together and does the right thing. This happened in a matter of a couple of years. Right? We drive downtown and we see dirt. We saw warehouses, but now we see this magnificent baseball field. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my counterpart on the city side, Gwen McKenzie.
So they would have to get us started talking about districts and numbers. And so from the city perspective, you are in the beautiful 6th district. But I would be remiss if I did not once again recognize Randy Boyd and his beautiful wife Jenny, all the people who have invested in this project to make it happen today. When I think about the legacy of city council and just city and county government, this is probably one of the most monumental partnerships and collaborations that we will see in our lifetime. And so with that said, not just from the business perspective, but also from the community perspective, I love the fact that the intentionality that history will not be forgotten in this area, that it will be preserved, that there will continue to be partnerships such as with the Urban League. I love seeing the intentionality about hiring people from the community and the job fairs and all the many great things to come. I want to thank also the Sports Authority Board, because you guys probably didn't know really what you were signing up for when we first asked you about surgery. But once again, anything worth fighting for, and we did have to fight to make this happen. There were, believe it or not, there were people who were not in favor of this, could not see the vision. But again, I'm proud to be a part of making this happen because it was done in excellence. And we will continue to enjoy this from the city and county, and think of all the tourists that will come into our city and see this beautiful facility and all the businesses. And again, I'm especially excited because I know that this stadium will be the catalyst, along with some of the additional city projects, to revitalize Magnolia. And if you have lived in Knoxville, you remember a thriving Magnolia, and that is what we will have again. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your support of this project. And let's play some baseball.
Thank you. Actually, I didn't realize I had another speaking part. That's great. I'll be very, since I didn't realize I had another speaking part, I will be very short. There we are. Better? Which is just what I didn't realize I had another speaking part. So I'll be very, very short and just say, we're actually going to make some, all the accolades, all the community things that we're going to be creating, all the other sports, etc. we actually are going to start playing baseball tomorrow. I didn't get to but I think actually this one sold out. There's 69 other games left to play, so please make sure we sell all those as well. But we had a chance, I guess it was 7 days ago, to have the players here. And in all the things we've been thinking about, the effects on the community, all the ways in which we bring everybody together, the amazing partners that we have. The one thing I haven't spent a lot of time on is just like, what it's going to be like to sit in the seat and watch the guys play baseball. We've got some amazing players. They were so excited to be here. I've never seen a baseball team so enthusiastic about their new home. And the players were talking about how the acoustics are, it echoes in here. So when they get the ball, it just echoes. It's going to be an amazing experience to actually watch baseball here. So I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow night, and go Smokies. Thank you all.